All right, all right, all right. Today we're here. We're going to be talking about one of those new Get Money Now funnels. If you haven't had the opportunity to join us online, go to joingetmoneynow.com. That is the URL. It is a Facebook group where we actually share what's working right now. If you need to grow your business, if you want to learn from people who are actually getting money now. Or you want to learn from people who are
trying to get it.
Trying to get it. Yeah, try to get that money. Then go to joingetmoneynow.com. And today, Jay, I'm going to let you give the little backstory and the introduction.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Absolutely. So J.R. Beckles is here with us. And J.R., how long have you had your real estate license?
About 3 years.
About 3 years
Yeah.
Now, why don't you tell everybody how we know each other? Because we've known each other for probably how long? Maybe a year? Year, 2 years, maybe something like that?
Yeah.
Right.
So straight Lake Louisville, you know what I'm saying? So out at the lake, you know how we do it, man. Just on a boat, chilling.
On a boat.
Yeah, on the boat. Actually, we was at the slip.
Right.
We were at the slip. So
Yep.
And then just kind of connected. I don't even think you knew I was in real estate.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I had no idea you were in real estate.
Yeah. So Jay didn't know I was in real estate, and kind of I don't even know how I brought it up, but we just kind of connected. And you were like, "Hey man, hey bro, I'll change your life." All right. I'm in.
Kevin, I was like, man, how do I not know you was in real estate?
Yeah.
Kevin, I think Kevin said.
Which is a problem, right? So I should be letting people know,
Right.
like what I'm doing.
Right.
Yeah, but you were undercover.
You were undercover.
Yeah.
You were undercover on the
I
dock.
had my hair down, man. I'm at the lake
Yeah.
vibe, and so.
I'm the same way. For the longest time, we just never talked shop. you know?
Yeah,
So-
yeah. I'm glad we did though,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, and
Like
so-
it literally, like it's changing my life. For real.
That's the intention, man. That's the intention.
Yeah.
So what? So your first couple years you'd been. Did you go to Keller Williams first?
Yeah, I was with KW and then went to Ebby
Right
after that.
And as far as the deals that you did during that time, were they primarily or a 100% deals that were sphere of influence people that that came to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
But nothing
Absolutely.
was creating new business out of thin air, right?
Man, I'm gonna be honest. I bullshitting. I was like, I was just going through the motions. Didn't really know what I was doing. Nobody was helping me. I'm just with the blinders on, trying to figure it out.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was in our conversation, and kind of knowing what your goals were in real estate and wanting to step it up and really making that money, get that money now.
Yeah.
With the discussion about partnering with us, you joined us at EXP, and then we created a plan for hey, what's the fastest way to get money now? Right. That's kind of where we were at, and you went through the clarity report.
Yeah, I did.
Did that process. What was that like?
Oh man, it was great. It was well, I mean, first off, you just got to be real, 100%.
Right.
And so I just looked in the mirror and said, "Hey, this it is what it is." So I just answered the questions, and I think we had a call and kind of figured out where I wanted to go, and we're trying to chart that course and just get on it.
Right.
So.
And so the first week, right? I mean, we're probably about 3 weeks into the account, just weekly calls and the open house funnel, which is I don't know where they can get access to that, Mike, if you want to make that available or not, but that's the that's where you took that, you downloaded it, you read through the whole thing.
Yeah.
Tell me what.
Yeah, I went to Digital Presidents.
Yep.
And logged in, actually got to the Friday funnel, I think is what it's called. Went through that process, just kind of read everything, absorbed it, and I did exactly what you guys told me to do, and the shit worked. I mean, it's nuts.
So have you done open houses in the past?
Yeah, I have. And then
what was they like? What were they like?
Yeah, you basically sit there and just hope somebody comes. Hope somebody comes in. Somebody will come in. Hey, got a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, yada yada yada, and just kind of go through the motions. Didn't really, I wasn't getting the amount of leads that I needed to. So
it didn't seem like an activity that was really that worthwhile.
From that perspective. I stopped doing it.
Right.
I stopped doing it.
Right.
And until I, gave this a chance and actually tried it out, and man, I'm telling you,
what were your thoughts?
Like it works.
What were you? What was? So when you're reading through the whole thing, you probably had a little bit of confidence that we knew what we were talking about. But did you have some doubts that it was going to work? Maybe.
Yeah, I had all kinds of doubts.
Right.
I mean, I was like, man, it's stupid. Put out 100.
100 signs.
100 signs.
Come on.
Yeah, I don't know about doing that, but I did it. I just said, look, these guys, they know what the hell they're talking about. I don't. I tried it before. I failed. It's time for me to try something different, right? And so that's what I did. I just followed the directions and
got the results.
Yeah.
So since we've been doing this for an awful long time, and I talk about this whenever I'm on the road a lot, Mike, is, at one point I thought I was a really good copycatter or a good modeler, as Jay Abraham would say. And I got caught not modeling. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I followed the script exactly. We played back the recording, and my coach told me, no, you didn't follow the script exactly, right? And then I changed the script to, I did it, and I was like, okay, I get it. I changed a few words around, so I didn't follow the script. Maybe that's why it didn't work, right? And then I changed the words around the right way, did it the right way, and I started getting the results. And I was like, after that, I was like, all right, I'm gonna be a better copycatter, right? Like that was just my takeaway. Was like, if you're gonna follow this process, don't put out 30 signs. Put out 100 signs. Like, do it exactly. If you want to get the same result, then follow this process to a T, and you get the results, right? Like if you truly want to be successful in real estate and you want to start making money in real estate, don't cut corners when it comes to following a process like this.
And the first time that I really followed the process was when I closed for a buyer, right? So it was basically, I talked to the seller and asked them, hey, is your seller motivated? Like, and y'all told me they'll spill their guts. The realtor spilled his guts and said, oh, yeah, man. As a matter of fact, they, it's all contingent on them buying another house. All right. I'm going to leverage that. I got you. And I saved my clients $25,000. So yeah,
that
that
felt pretty good, right?
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
they love you. Right?
Yeah, they love me. And
So
I got to get that testimony too from them.
Yep.
So one of the things that I think is important, this is just my personal opinion. I wrote a long post today, and the question, a lot of people right now, when the difference in the evolution. So first of all, I think that the principles that make the funnel work is it's about traffic, right? So
Sure.
you had a lot of signs, which obviously increased the traffic, which is typically just a numbers game. If you have more signs, you get more traffic, then you're more likely going to run into somebody that's, an ideal customer, someone to looking to do something today. My question would be, there's so many different things that you could do. You could, I'm sure you could have put door hangers out. You could have circled prospect around the home.
Yeah.
You could have uploaded, everybody in the neighborhood and created a custom audience. You could have done a Facebook Live, the Wednesday before. Kind of walk us through what your process was and what you would do differently next time.
Okay.
Specifically about, I'm sure you didn't do everything. You did the signs, but like, for instance, and the reason why that's important is because, everybody who comes from the sign, for instance, did you survey them? What are you going to do with those people now? Are they going to be in your database?
Right.
Are they subscribers? Did you have an offer for the people? Did you have them sign up for home search so that you could send them properties? Let's walk through what made this successful for you.
Yeah. So it first started out by getting the signs. I used that website, got the signs. It was, last minute. So luckily I got them on Friday, but the Wednesday prior to the open house, I actually went out there, put a sign out in the front of the townhome, which actually said it was going to be an open house on Saturday from 1 to 4. So I did that, followed that direction. So then Friday came, and what did I do then? I actually got up early at 6 o'clock Saturday morning and went and just put signs out all over Plano. Like it take me back to the days when I was like, passing out flyers, at the nightclub, for the nightclub and stuff. So that was just I'm good at that.
There's a whole podcast where the story about this nightclub.
There's
a whole podcast.
Yeah, I used to sublease a nightclub.
We'll have to come back and hit that one. Yeah.
So I just put the signs out, kind of worked my way backwards.
Yeah.
All up Legacy. I mean, like the shops at Legacy, it was just yellow signs everywhere that had, that basically said free list and open house on there. So I followed that to a T. And then, so I left, I came back probably an hour before the open house. I had some flyers, so I just went door to door. Some people answered, some people didn't. If they didn't answer, I just left the flyer on the front door. Don't know if that really worked. I mean, I went back by there today, saw a lot of them missing. But, you know, I just, whatever I could do to get my name out there. And then I actually opened up the open house. I did a video. I shot a video. And it's funny because on my way over here, I was trying to get a new phone. This phone is not working, so it sucks. So the video wouldn't upload. And plus, I only had like 2%. So my battery was dying. But I really tried to do Facebook Live, but you know, technical difficulties wouldn't allow me to do so.
He was trying to buy a phone.
When did you do this open house?
Saturday.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, I did it Saturday. So as people were coming through, it was a little overwhelming. Not even going to lie to you, because it was, you know, like 6 people showing up at one time, and trying to manage all that was, first off, it was a little intimidating. Not even going to sit up here and lie that you know.
Right, you got
like,
let me.
Yeah,
you were. So, it was worth it.
Yeah, it was worth it.
They won't stop opening the door.
But that was the thing is, I was asking people, how did you hear about this? And they're like, man, all the signs, you know, that we. Man, when I say I flooded Plano, my bad, Plano, I flooded the city. Like it was crazy. And actually, it was a mortgage lender that actually came over, and her name was Becky. Shouts out to Becky. She came in and said, you know, I've been in the industry. I think it was like
36 years.
Yeah, 36 years.
Yeah.
And she said, I hadn't seen this before. Like the amount of signs that I put out. I know I'm beating a dead horse with the signs, but it really, really works. And you know, she actually, I think I
called you.
Yeah, you had called.
You texted me and it was like, I had 20 people come through. Make that 30.
Yeah.
It just kept on coming.
Yeah. So, you know, she was just really impressed how that worked. And I had talked to the owner. It's funny because the open house was over with at 4. People were still coming up, and I'm like, hey, bro, like I'm hungry, like, but hey, you know,
that's exactly.
You know, if we can get
till you get
leads,
those signs picked up, they're still coming.
Yeah. So they were coming, and then the owner actually came and talked to me for a little bit, introduced himself, and said, hey, man, I got the signs for you. So he picked up like 4 signs. I had like 4 blue random signs. I don't know what I was doing, but I put them out there, and he brought them. And I told him, I said, oh, man, appreciate it. I got to go get the rest. He was like, the rest? I was like, yeah, all those yellow signs. He said, I thought it was like multiple open houses. I'm like, no, man, this is like for your house. Man, he was so grateful for that. Like, he was really, really grateful for that. He was like, man, awesome job. I mean, and then so that gave me confidence, right? Just throughout the process. But, you know, I got some solid leads out of them. You know, for what I could, once again, it was very overwhelming because a lot of people were coming in, and, you know, I couldn't keep up with all that. So some people would come in, and I got to have good conversations, and then some just kind of came in, you know, crept out, you know, real quick. But, you know, wherever I could get a contact, I was trying to get the contact. And, you know, if they didn't have a realtor, I was most definitely trying to, you know, represent them. So I got 2 good solid leads out of that. And I think we probably had about 40-something people coming through. And the owner said, you know, prior to that, they would get like 6 people in, you know, maybe 4 people. So I think I took the record so far. Yeah, on that.
Kind of went 10x that.
Yeah, and the main thing, I think one of the things is, you know, the mindset that you have to have once you've gotten the 40 is that, you know, there's people that say not right now, but those people, you know, a lot of the times, you know, I didn't know I was going to buy my house, or I didn't know I was moving when I moved. It kind of happened. You know, I was out there in the marketplace, and then it was like, Yeah. So like things can change. The main thing is now that you have their information and they met you, now you have the opportunity to build a list of those people. And so I think that's one of I think the next phase is like, for instance, you know, let's say you sell a home, you know, if all of and this is an important point I'm just going to make real quick. I believe, so I was over here working with this guy named, a friend of ours, we'll just leave it at that. And that friend, he was like, well, what's the next book that you're going to put out? Because we did I'll just show it on camera here, but there's a book. It's called, I don't know if they can see it, The Ultimate Open House, the Get Money Now campaign. And I said, the next one is going to be the community, the Facebook group. Because to me, what you want to do is you want to tell those, because right now, if you would have gotten all of those people into a Facebook group, what happens is every time you post, you don't have to run an advertisement for those people, because as long as you can keep that group engaged. And so we had a buddy from Missouri that was in our real estate mastermind, and he actually said, I doubled the homes that I sold of my own listings because of me building this buyer group. So like building a buyer and waiting group and leveraging social media, in my opinion, then you can put those coming soons, Jay, that you were talking about. It's building that audience so that I don't think that those people have ever said no. It's just not today. And so the real mindset is, how do you take a Facebook group and get it to 1,000 buyers, by the end of Q1, so that, next time when you get a house and
nurturing them.
Yeah, you're nurturing them. And then imagine this, you get a listing, you put it in there, and that, let's just say, like this gentleman shared with us, Adam, I think was his name.
Yeah, yep.
You sell it, then now that becomes your story, where you're like, listen, I got this whole group of buyers in waiting. These are people that are looking for homes just like yours. Here's part of my marketing strategy. Here's my cancellation guarantee. Here's my yada, yada, yada. But all of those buyers, all of the people that you met, when somebody else is hungry in May, it's going to be because of what you were doing this weekend and next weekend. And the weekend after. So I think it's not building, it's building that database. And so you got a couple deals today, but if you continue to do that, you're gonna have a database of buyers that you can go to. And I think that, especially like when you did your Facebook Live, you could have done the Facebook Live to that group, and that might have even had more people come, because now if you have 500 people in this database of buyers, every time you're doing another open house, you're inviting them. Oh, look, he's out there again today. I saw a dude on Facebook Live literally talking about, it was an old one, but it was talking about a car dealership, a special they had for Thanksgiving. And now this guy he was like a comedian,
right?
But he made me want, like, if I was in the business of buying a car, he was so funny and so like non-threatening. He was like, go get your cousin, your mom, your dad, nothing that. But he was talking, he was out there doing something versus just sitting there waiting for someone to come on the lot. And so, in the open house, I think that all you do is have an ability to continue to do what you did that already worked. But if you had 38 people, 2 people came, shoot, man, did any of those people have a home to sell before they buy it? You can survey them. You got their email. All of those great things.
So I know there's probably technology for this today, because like the OG trick was back in the day, before we had our smartphones, whenever we do open houses, we'd have the little guest register, right? And then I would always fill out a fake name, and I'd put in then a phone number. Because if you don't put a phone number, or the first person comes in and doesn't put a phone number and email, then every person after that does the same thing. But if you fill out a couple fake names and you plant that on the top of the list, and you fill out address, and
man, I gotta write that down.
Right.
Like, I gotta do that.
Right. So like then you'll capture everyone else will follow suit, and then if somebody doesn't, I come in behind them and put a fake number. Right. Like it looks like, well, shit, everybody gave them their information. I should do the same thing. Right. Social proof. But so that's how we used to do it. But I don't know today if there's not a better way, right? Like
there's
an app.
There's an app. It's in here. There's an app you can get, and also KV Core has its own. If you're using KV Core, it has its own built-in thing for that as well.
Right? Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I use the little log book and all that stuff. So, but I gotta step my game up to get the app and stuff like that.
Yeah, I went to the open house right here. Remember the house behind me? Yep. One day it was open, and I went over there, and her system was on an iPad. I got text the next day. I got text with offers. It's all about building that list and then that communication. And so that technology exists. If you're using a tool like KV Core, some of those companies have already built those things in for each user. But there's third party. There's probably 4 or 5 in the Apple Store that allow people to do that. The question is, in my opinion, this is just my opinion. I think the group is, the people are going to spend their time on Facebook. You know what I mean? So you really still want to give them a compelling way. Like you gave them a list. It's like, hey, listen, we get a new list every month. If you'd like to get blah, 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 here is my, XYZ, naming convention for benefit, and you can join the group right now,
So to find them on Facebook, all you need is an email, correct?
Yeah, well, you won't find everybody, but our hit rate was 62.
60%.
Yeah, 62% of people that we had add the address, not even the email for their home address. So, yeah, I think that's definitely a huge opportunity.
Yeah, I got to leverage that for sure.
Yep. And then next time, the first time I did this, the same thing. The lesson I learned, I should have done it at 6 a.m. We were putting out signs, and there was cars like following us like off of the shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Like we put down some signs, and then we move up a little bit further. They follow us, and then wait. We put up some more signs, and then they'd follow us some more. Like they followed us all the way till we got to the house. I was like, man, I wouldn't do it this way. I would work myself backwards or something, just so and have people at the house. So we had a couple agents in the house. 2 or 3 of us, I think, and then a lender. So like at least have having a lender that has a vested interest in maybe capturing the information while you're having conversations with people too. They would definitely be willing to. I'm sure that's why that lender showed up.
Yeah, she did. She was snooping.
She was like, this guy's going to be successful.
She actually looked through my book. I was like, hey, I didn't give you those leads. I'm just kidding, Becky.
Yeah, right. She was snapshot. Yeah,
so that's awesome.
That is a good trick she's trying to pull. Probably was trying to get all.
Yeah, she was thumbing through some stuff.
Right.
So you're gonna do it again?
Absolutely.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I can't wait. Probably Saturday. Right.
Right. If you do it like this is the, it's one of those things that we've had over the years. So many people come to us and say, hey, I need to get money now, right? Like that's basically that's where they're at, right? And so. This is, if you double down on this one activity, and we didn't mention this, but you have a full-time job, right?
Yeah.
So
I work for Boeing.
So we're trying to make an effort to get to success quickly with much less time to be invested. So this strategy is being applied by someone who's not full-time, and it's working. And if you do it every single week and you continue to add elements to it and just improve upon it, there's no question. I mean, what's your confidence level in your ability to create your own income in real estate and the next 90 days? What is it now versus what it was prior to that?
I mean, it jumped. I mean, because it worked. Like I said, twice, right? So what you guys told me to do in the boot camp, I leveraged that, did it. Now with the open house, like it actually worked. So now my confidence is really like I'm lit right now. You know, so.
Did you get on Funnel Friday the week? But did you see the Facebook Marketplace?
No, I didn't.
We took one idea.
Yeah. Gotcha.
You're going to want to double down on that one too, probably.
Yeah, because I was actually trying to spend some money on radio advertising. Yeah. Right. And out of Waco, Texas. I mean, shout out to people in Waco, but you told me why would you do that?
Yeah.
You're going to spend this, I think it was like $3,000, spend this $3,000 when you don't have to spend that much and get, better results.
Yeah.
And I got to say, it's
and spent less than that, right? So,
right?
Yeah. Like probably, how much do you have invested in this, with the signs?
So with the signs, I think total, it was like 350, something like that.
Right.
That's awesome.
That's pretty much it. I mean, now don't get me wrong. I was tired. Like I'm going through this this transformation of putting everything in the calendar, and so I made sure that Wednesday I had that in the calendar to make sure I go out there and put the sign in the front yard.
Right.
And then just kind of prepping for everything, and then Saturday morning because I get up at 4:45 and go to the gym. I'm not quite on your level, bro.
Well, whatever.
I'm not on your level, but I go to the gym and I work out, and so my body, it's not used to it just yet, but I'm pushing, right? I try to hold myself accountable. I posted on Facebook and all that good stuff, and I just want people to realize that, hey, man, he's really trying. He's trying to hold himself accountable. But I did all that throughout the week, and I'm not trying to, come off with a sob story, but I do work a full-time job as well. So Saturday morning, got up early. I was like, hey, let's go get this money. Like, we need to get money now. Right. And got up, and just my wife, she's all laying in the bed, nice and warm and all that good stuff. I hopped in the hoopty. I bought a little cash card where I can put the signs and stuff in. Just, hey, it's grind mode. So
Yeah.
I just went out there.
We got to get it done before the
Yeah.
summer, man. We about to be at the lake again.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
need those weekends back.
Hey, but maybe the lake might have to hold off, man. I'm still trying to get money now. So,
Right.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
No, I
Yeah.
love it, man. That's
Yeah.
what I wanted to make sure we captured the story, because you know there's a bunch of people that are joining this group or already part of this group, or maybe they're thinking about joining that group now.
Yeah.
But like, I want to hear these stories. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
Yeah.
this shit works, man. Just go do it.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
When I had my hardest time in real estate, I couldn't get my agents to put out the signs, and I said I literally still have it in my Google documents. I flowed out a process, how you submitted it to Kathy, how you picked the property, you know, everything, because I was like, listen, guys, I'll even put your signs out if you need to, because when you're a real estate agent and you have a team, you know, if you can get them to that little success win, then they'll run for their own. But sometimes, you know, getting them over that little limiting belief, like, oh, I got to go do this again. So for me, it was just kind of like, man, if I could just get them to do one,
Right.
just do one, then they'll go, because everybody's like, oh, I tried an open house before. But even like Chase, a buddy of mine, you know, he started going up in price. So I'll have to introduce you to Chase. He's here local, but
Yeah.
he started. We were on the snow ski lift back in April, and I was just taking a strategy from someone else, and Jay Abraham's principle of like, well, why don't we see if we can get double the price? And he was like, you think so? And I was like, yeah, let's just try one of those. And so he went up in price point, and he said, do you know that? And I shared this at the last boot camp. He was not boot camp, but the workshop he was at, and he said, he was like, the higher the price I go, the less likely they're working with an agent. He was like, now that I'm in this price point, it's like literally 6 or 7 out of 10 don't have an agent. When I start going down in price, they're, you know, they more than likely have an agent. So I don't know if that's, you know, it is another way,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
It's a strategy. Well, I think one of the things that you mentioned to me that we hadn't talked about that was, you know, you picked a good property, right? Like, you
I
know,
did. And that was
Good
the
location.
Yeah.
I looked out on that, and you know, it really, you gotta vet that first. I mean, you don't want to, you know, I just kind of picked the first thing that was thrown at me, and I lucked out on that one. So, you know, the Shops of Legacy, you know, there's a lot of traffic over there. So
right.
but
That's definitely
Win before you start.
right. But what you're saying, Michael, is the strategy of, if you want to double your average, you know, commission, you want to go from 10,000 average commission, which is probably, you know, the 400,000 range, which is pretty much everywhere around here. But you know, you can go up to 700, 800, $1 million, and you know, you can be in the $20,000-$25,000 you know, average ticket price. You know what I'm saying? Just by being strategic about the house that you're holding open.
Exactly.
And so, and it wouldn't hurt, you know, to get a testimonial from that guy. You know what I'm saying? Since this wasn't, you know, again,
Absolutely.
it wasn't your seller. So, you know,
Right.
you were, you know, working with another agent and holding their
Yep.
house open. You made them look good.
yeah,
You
shout
know,
out to Angel.
Right. So, you know, that, and I'm sure that they're happy that, you know, that you were willing
Yeah.
to do that too.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
So, you know, use that as leverage to, you know, have that next conversation.
She actually asked me to do another one.
Right.
So
There you go.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, man, that's awesome, man. Good job, man.
Man,
Proud of
appreciate
you.
it.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Hey man, well, thanks for jumping on here. We're gonna be getting more money now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna set them up like oil wells.
That's right. That's it. Build
All
the
right,
whole
man.
world
Let's get it.
But we'll see you at the top.
from the top.
Yes, sir.
Take care, brother.
Let's go.